Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Claudia Monacelli again, and I know you know that. I'm here with a special guest for this episode of my podcast, Multiple Voices. I have today with me Birgitta Vesser. Birgitta, she's speaking to us from the UK. Can you say hello to our audience?
Hi, Claudia. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, it's a pleasure, I'm sure. I assure you. Now, Birgitta, we're talking on the day after the Queen has passed on, so I don't know if it's customary to give you my condolences, but we're recording on this day. Okay. Now, Birgitta, let me tell you a little bit about her. She's the author of an upcoming book, and we'll be talking about that toward the end of the interview. The title is Becoming Authentically Me. She's a soul empowerment coach and light configurator, and we'll be talking about that. She delivers messages from the many light beings to the aid of humanity, and in this we have an overlapping, you and I. She's a courier, a bit of a bike messenger between the here and there. She has traveled the world. She's held many different jobs, but nothing, and has nothing, let's say she's had in all of her travels a lot of toxic relationships, and each complementing the other in the hope she would wake up and start healing herself. And I imagine this was the key to your development. She has, her life was ups and downs like everyone is, but there has been a learning curve. But she tells me she is who she is. She's simply here to plant a seed to help unlock your potential, your true potential, into a better understanding of yourself and the universe. People often think that transformation begins from without, but inner movement starts from within. To heal, you have to feel and deal and hug it out with yourself. When you transform within, the conditioning is washed away and you transform your world without, having a domino effect of change in your life. And then I will include in the description of the episode how you can get in touch with her, where she roams. Now, Birgitta, my goodness, what I came away with is this moving, this constant moving, even if it's, it may be space travel or physical third dimension travel. Now, am I correct in saying that you started on this soul empowerment coach and light configurator profession after you came to the point in your life we said, that's enough, I've had enough with your relationships and bad decisions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How long ago was that, roughly?
Probably, we're 2022 now, probably around 2019, 2020.
Okay, so it's relatively recent.
Yes, but I've had to go through a lot of healing curves, and I was a bit of a turtle, though. I suffered from donkey syndrome. It's like taking one step forward and two steps back.
But you're still smiling, so it's a good thing.
I'm still smiling because, now I understand my experiences and I understand whatever gets thrown on my path. It's like Saint Germain says, take life with a pinch of salt, right?
Yeah.
Don't get saturated in the toxicity thereof, because there is no point, because you won't be able to enjoy life. That's very much the 3D reality, right? Because we get stuck in our experiences and we keep mucking in the same playground, in the same sandbox.
Now, I want to kick off with a topic that's very, very close to my heart, because you are a courier. You bring messages from another world or another part of the universe. And you have given me the topic of the Anunnaki, other galactics, ascended masters, archangels, angels. This is really important. Shall we kick off with that?
Absolutely, we
All
can.
Right. Go ahead.
All right. So, well, do you first want to know how I got into channeling, or do you just want to start?
Well, you can tell us that, of course. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's a funny story, really, and a great little exercise that will help others to commence channeling as well. But I remember going to a workshop, and I was really down and out, and I knew that, Spirit kicked me to a fair, and I met my former mentor there, Alania Starhawk, and she's amazing. She lives in Florida. And she walked me through the Akashic record holes.
Yeah.
And so I had to heal up and heal a lot of, a lot of karmic relationships. And it is so powerful.
Fascinating.
Because we don't realize that we hold on to debris when we incarnate. And during our lifetime, in this current lifetime, there are things that will come to the surface, and it's requesting to be healed.
Right. Okay. And when you say we hold on to debris, I use the word negative attachments. Some form of negativity.
Yes, yes. So a form of negativity, but also, we take karma with us because we know there are certain things we need to learn in this lifetime. But she had a workshop on channeling whilst I was doing having my healing sessions with her, and I went, and there was a big group of people, and I'm a bit antisocial sometimes. I like my own space. So they're sitting in this circle, and I'm sitting on a pillow somewhere on the side. And she did this meditation, and it was really powerful. But as soon as she counted to 3, boom, I was out like a light. Heaven knows where I went, Claudia. I can't tell you.
Okay.
But then
but you're here to talk about it.
Yes, I'm definitely here to talk about it. But then she counted back from 3 to 1. Boom, and I was back in the room.
Yeah.
And everyone, and so she asked, the group for their experiences, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I saw the Ascended Masters, and I got a message, and I saw amazing colors, and I got a message from the archangels. I saw totem animals. Well, and I saw nothing. Absolute zilch. And do you know what, Claudia? I was so upset. I'm sitting there, and I'm wiping the tears away with my sleeve, right? And my snotty nose. And nobody noticed it. But she then stated that, how she started to channel. And she just sat down one night with a pen and notepad and said to Spirit, I am ready to receive.
That's it. I tell everybody who comes to me, they say, where's the shaitan? Get the paper. Get a piece of paper and a pen. Yeah.
Yeah. And it stuck in my mind. So when the workshop was over, I darted out the door because I didn't want anybody to see me. And so I went back home, and I actually sat down and I did it. And it wasn't my analytical mind, because I was pretty far gone, so to speak. And it just started to flow.
Yeah.
And it was, there was a lot of old English in it, but actually I was crying tears of joy in my living room, because for the first time, even though I studied many healing modalities and I taught Reiki, and helped other people, this was something different. Finally I thought to myself, yes, but I was good at it, and I was so happy.
Come on, you've convinced us. Now let's talk about the Anunnaki and the Galactic Councils. Come on.
Wow. So the Anunnaki, I sat down one night because they just came to me. And before that,
are they?
Yes. So the Anunnaki are a galactic race that have been around for billions of years. Of course, they're not the only ones in the galaxy.
Sure.
But I love them. I mean, they have evolved. That doesn't mean that that they've always been goody two shoes, because they have not. They nuked certain parts of the earth millions of years ago. But then the draconians, the reptilians, and even the chimeras, they have nuked planets in the multiverse and displaced many galactics. And especially, like the felines, I call them the felines. What happened was so many loving species, they did remain loving, but they started to arm themselves because there was a war being fought. And, there's still wars being fought. If you look at planet Earth.
Wait, hang on. Let me just get a grip on what you're saying. So you're saying that the Anunnaki are a form of spiritual beings, just like the draconians. They're souls that come from a special group.
Yeah,
there are many different, and they're darker, or they were at one point. They were light, but Anunnaki, they came to you. Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, they came to me. So when I channel, I will know who I'm speaking to.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And they will make themselves known to me. So when they came to me, they came with this whole story of ancient Egypt and what happened in that whole region. Well, not just Egypt, but the whole region. And they also came to me and told me how they created humanity. Even though humanity, now, right? Humanity has many, many different DNA strands because we are composed of many galactic races. It's so unique, and I love that. But when you tell people, they can't always grasp that, and they're like, "Well," some people say, "You know what? We're the only species in the universe." Well, that would be very lonely.
Well, no. What you're talking about species on human species, but the origin of their soul all come from different areas.
Very true.
Okay.
This is true. This is correct. Yes, that is correct. So, like you're from somewhere else. I'm from somewhere else.
Well, my soul, I know where it comes from, even if I live in Italy, but I know my soul where it has originated. But what is specific of the Anunnaki, and why do you think they came to you?
Well, I think they had a message, and but this is going pretty deep.
Okay, that's what we
wanted to. Yeah, so they wanted humanity to understand why they came here, what they create. They created humanity, and it didn't go right. It took them a few times, because they were genetic engineers, and it was amazing what they created. I think it's amazing. But the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Sirians, they also helped along in later times, so to speak. But with the Anunnaki, yes, there were hybrids as well. So there were what you would call giants. To me, giants are not like 30 feet tall. Like between 8 and 9 feet tall. And if we talk about Anunnaki, to me, the Anunnaki, as they said to me, like the archangels, right? The archangels, people think they're winged beings, and that's okay because in medieval times, right? In medieval times, they added the wings, but actually, everything as they say is a wordplay on the senses.
Sure.
So when you split the word archangel, you have arc, right, which is spacecraft, and then the H stands for heavens, but angels are celestial beings of the heavens. So as they stated, they were star seeds that came to Earth, right?
Okay. But in any case, they are still under the umbrella term of spirits.
Absolutely. Okay. They have evolved tremendously in consciousness, I always say, they always tell me it's like the Jacob's ladder. So they keep climbing the Jacob's ladder, but we
Let
all
me
do
ask,
eventually.
let me stop you here because when you say that they have evolved tremendously, I believe they are here to evolve our consciousness in the form of what they're doing with you. You're writing, you're speaking,
Yes,
you're publishing.
yes,
Okay, so this is very clear. And you yourself say you're a courier, correct?
yes. I'm a bike messenger. So for me, it's like sometimes people will channel only certain beings.
Yeah.
I channel whoever is there to convey a message, and
Uh-huh.
that's why I say I'm a bike messenger,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm Dutch anyway, and we bike a lot, we cycle a
Mm-hmm.
lot, so that's how it's always worked for me. But I will state that the main person or the main ascended master I work with is actually Saint Germain.
Okay. Now, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Before we get into the Ascendant Masters, and you say other galactics. Now,
yeah.
when we talk about Ascended Masters, who are they in relation to normal spirits? Why are they called Ascended?
Because they have finished their lifetimes, so they are done,
Mm-hmm.
and they finished their evolution, so to speak,
Uh-huh.
right? And they are here to teach humanity.
Yeah.
They're here to help awaken humanity.
Okay.
They are here to help you remember who you are. It's very simple, because the Ascended Master Saint Germain says, life is merely a return to love,
Mm-hmm.
nothing more, nothing less. Because if we love ourselves and we love each other, how much more beautiful would the world be?
Mm-hmm. But
And
we
people
know
always,
that
yes,
we know what life is like, and it's not a spiritual dimension. We have highs and lows here.
of course we
Right?
do. And that's the beauty of it,
Of
Claudia.
course, of course.
That's exactly why we're here. Because without the highs and lows, without the lows, we wouldn't be able to understand the highs.
Right. Now, this is why I'm asking this and the galactics. I was wondering if you had received or channeled any information concerning the hierarchical structure in the spiritual world. Are ascended masters together on a council? You talk. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are many councils.
Okay.
We have, okay, there's the Galactic Federation of Light,
Mm-hmm.
which with Aster Sharan, captain of the galaxies, as I call him,
Mm-hmm.
and the overarcher, so to speak, is Lord Sanat Kumara,
Mm-hmm.
who is Venusian. But there are many different councils. I don't even know all of them,
Right. And
but
why?
they
Do you have any insight into the purpose of these councils?
Well, without without these councils, how would I say this? The multiverse would be run. How do I say this in English?
Oh, take your time.
Yeah,
Take,
no.
take your time.
Without the councils in place, there would be no order, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I call that a loving order.
Mm-hmm.
That's very different. That's very different than the order we have in 3D, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all helping one another.
Okay, so
And
they
so
all have a purpose.
they all have a purpose. So take, for instance, I'll take a chunk. Take, for instance, the Karmic Council, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they help with kind of like, well, with karma, so to speak. So people can relinquish their karma or hold on to it, but they're really here to help all within the multiverse. So it's not just
When you
here.
say the multiverse, what do you mean?
So you have the Earth here, which
Yeah.
is in one part of the universe, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I call the multiverse that there are different dimensions that
Uh-huh.
we are not even aware of.
Yeah.
It is And so that's why I always say the universe, the earth is in one part of the universe in the multiverse, but there are many other multiverses.
Okay.
And it's not something, it's a bit mind boggling.
Yeah.
I do agree. And it's something that I've had to wrap my head around. So when you're very new to this, it's like, I don't get it. And then I always say, well, just think of the Earth as one planet in a corner of the universe in many other dimensions.
Right.
Because it is so vast, Claudia. It is so vast. And then I always say to people, but remember,
it's infinite.
It's infinite. Absolutely. It's infinite. And the whole multiverse is consciousness. And that's so beautiful because we evolve, right? As souls, we evolve. We all evolve. The earth has, to me, the earth is a soul. It is a living, breathing, conscious
energy.
being.
It's energy.
It's energy. Yeah. Absolutely. And we often forget that. I mean, look how we treat her.
Yes. Now, before we get, the time runs away from us, I did want to talk about your past lives, who you are and why you are here. The ultimate question, who am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here?
Oh, that took me a while to figure out.
Okay. And how did you figure it out?
Actually, in one of my astral travels, I figured it out.
Okay. And what is, just to clarify for the audience, what is astral travel?
So you have two things. There's astral travel and lucid dreams, right? And I'll explain the difference. Lucid dreams is when you see a loved one in your dreams that has crossed over. And you realize that they have crossed over. And you talk to them and ask them why they're here. And they will tell you. Tell you.
Yes, but a lucid dream is not only about loved ones that you see. A lucid dream is the type of dream where anything can happen. But go on.
True. This is true. This is true. I was merely stating an example.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, for astral travel, that is like, whoosh, you go out of your body.
It's your soul leaves the body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's quite a phenomenal feeling. And I've had this since I was a kid.
Okay.
Actually a teenager. And I remember it was so amazing for me, being on the San Francisco Bridge. I kid you not. And I'm seeing the traffic pass by. It was phenomenal. But so for me, I was taken, my soul was taken out of my body one night, and I visited this beautiful, beautiful planet. I remember walking through the hallways, and I saw these massive statues of like felines, or even the goddess Bastet.
Who is the goddess Bastet?
The Egyptian goddess Bastet.
Oh, okay.
And I walked through, and you come into this beautiful area where you can see the planet. And I walked onto the green, so to speak, right onto my planet. And I can't even explain to you the colors, the vibrancy. It was like everything was communicating with one another.
Right.
But
you have a way of not answering the question.
No, I'm going to get to it.
Okay. Okay. I'm reeling you in like a fish.
I could see myself, and I had like bluish skin.
Yeah.
I am from the Syrian star belt, but not the main.
Okay.
Not the main
series.
Star belt, but yeah. And I could see my legs, and I'm like, yeah, they're a little bit different to my human legs.
Yeah.
And what we do, we are transformers, and we help build grids and crystal grids and help set up communities. It's pretty amazing. Okay. I mean, I could just transform into like a phoenix, because we're energy, so we can transform into whatever we like.
Well, Birgitta, how did that help you understand why you are here?
Because I understood, as I was told, I'm here. My mission here is to help humanity awaken.
Okay.
That is
A shift in
it.
consciousness.
A shift
Yes.
in consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And that is that's why I'm here. And I'm not the only one. There are many of
There
us,
are millions of people.
thousands, millions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm just one piece of the
Yeah.
puzzle.
Let me ask if you can tell me, because you mentioned your walks in New York City with other psychics.
Oh yeah.
Have you done that? The fun run-ins? Or did you
Yes, yes.
psychically, you
Mm,
did go to New York City?
I did. I
Okay.
did.
No, now,
And
wait a second. With colleagues here, there, or wherever, um, did you have the, how can I say, the confirmation of a similar experience that they had had? Is there common ground? Did you find common ground when you met other people who do similar work?
in what you mean in what I do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I have to be very honest with
Yes.
you. I'm sometimes a little bit too far out, and people
Yeah.
look at me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And
I know.
but do you
So
know
am
what?
I. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But do you know what? Do
Yeah.
you know what? It's okay because I've accepted that. But
Okay.
it doesn't withhold me, and just like you, I'm sure it doesn't withhold
Yeah.
it doesn't withhold us to speak our truth,
Right.
regardless of
Of
whether
what?
people understand it or
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they will pick something up in
Yeah.
their subconscious,
Yeah.
and then they will start to think.
Okay. Birgitta, do you, I know you have a website, www.powersoulhealing.com, and in Facebook, it's Universal Light Warriors.
Yeah.
Do you teach? Do you have groups online that you work with? Do you have one-to-one clients? How do you work?
So, because I've been so busy with, I mean, I did do healing sessions, but because I was so busy with my book
Mm-hmm.
and my corporate work, I had to just tone it down.
Uh-huh.
And now that
Well,
my book is
there
out,
will come a moment
yes,
when the corporate work will be, will be.
I know,
Yeah. Now that you know
absolutely,
your purpose.
absolutely, yes, absolutely. And my guides recently told me to pick up sound bowls.
Sorry.
So
Pick up.
the sound, pick up
Oh,
sound bowl healing.
sound bowls. Yes, Tibetan
And
bowls. Mm-hmm.
yeah, well, yeah, actually not the Tibetan bowls, but the alchemy bowls and
Oh,
the
okay.
crystal bowls. So
Okay.
they have a
Ah,
very
the crystal
different
bowls.
toning.
I haven't
Oh,
found one yet. Yeah.
yeah, I've had to search because it's not like, hey, you know what, you're just going to buy a bowl. It has to
No, you have to
resonate with
be
your
there. You have to
soul.
see it, touch it. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And so that is very powerful because just like light language, that really resonates very deeply.
Yeah.
So, and the thing with it is when I do the bowls,
Yeah.
that's when I can do the light language.
Uh-huh.
Without it, I'm just kind of like
Yeah.
stumped.
You will get away from me. I'm talking from the position of a person who's been doing this a long time. You
Yeah.
will, for example, in the beginning, I wanted to use water. I wanted to read water. I was staring at this water for hours. Nothing came out. After many, many years, I was able to read water, but it takes a long time. It takes a
Yeah.
long time. Now, I'm rushing you along because I want you to tell us about your book, your upcoming book. Is it sort of a memoir? Is it about your experience? Is there anything about spirituality for our listeners that they could learn about?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Actually, do you know what? It came out officially. It came out yesterday.
Ah, great.
Yeah, it's out.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's been 22 years in the making.
Ah,
So yeah, it was a long time. But you know what? I needed that time.
Yeah, sure.
And
Sure.
actually, that was also part of my mission.
Uh-huh.
To write a book on Earth, but it covers many things. So it covers there's 2 books in one.
Okay,
So
how large is it? How many chapters? How many pages?
So 2 books in one, 480 pages.
Ooh, it's a heavy book. Mm-hmm.
It's heavy, but like I said, the first part consists of the shift in human consciousness,
Right,
right?
right.
We talk about transformation
Uh-huh.
and why everything is collapsing in the matrix, so to speak, the 3D reality.
Yeah.
And people need to let go of that fear and embrace the new, right?
Uh-huh.
Because we are moving into a new golden age. But as Saint Germain always says, it has to come from within. You have to transform from within.
Right.
And we are divine alchemists, okay? Because as you know, we are energy. We're not this blob of organism. We are energy. We can transform at will anytime. We create exactly what we think, yeah? We manifest it.
Okay, now wait. As you're talking, I went and I got the book. I have the table of contents, and so I'm going to answer that question. So there are 2 books, and she was right. There are book 1 and book 2. The first book is The Earth's Birthing into Existence, and you talk about the Atlanteans, Lemurians, Anunnaki, and all of that. Spend time on the Anunnaki. You talk about a shift in consciousness, the age of Aquarius, and things like that. But you also include messages to humanity, and these were channeled by you directly?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. So
all right. Then the second book is more of a memoir, it seems. Yes. So it's the start of your life, family members, and all of that. Ascended Master Saint Germain. You talk about abuse, things, people in your life, on the road, maybe former companions. And there is, for example, because people keep asking me this, wait, where am I? Lost it with my eyes. Twin flames and soulmates. Now, is that a general talk about twin flames and soulmates?
Yeah, so I explained the difference because in this lifetime, my twin flame is in this lifetime, but we are not together. Because people always think that twin flames end up together, and that is not true. That is just a myth.
Good.
Right? And I mean, twin flames carry very traumatic experiences, and that's beautiful because how else can you wake up? How else can you expand? How else can you choose to heal? So, and soulmates, of course, are. I always say you're mates from the same tribe. That doesn't mean new souls cannot enter the tribe. Of course they can, but lifetime after lifetime, you play different characters.
Okay. But there's much, much more. That is, there's also something else that could be of interest. All right. You have in book number 2, there's a section on, where is it? My eyes, psychics and phonies. For example, there's a Q&A with Archangel Saint Germain, the violet flame of transmutation and all of that. But there's a bit about the Akashic record healing and much, much more. I mean, you said 400 pages, right? About 400 pages. And this is, I'm looking at it on Amazon. There is, you have been traveling. You go to the United States, New York City, Florida, back to the UK. Men in and out of your life, addiction, so many ups and downs here. it's funny. Here's a title of a chapter: "From the frying pan into the fire."
Into the
That's
fire.
an expression in Italian. You talk about your lives in ancient Egypt and onward and onward and on.
Yeah.
But it I guess I can't call it a memoir because there's a lot of channeling in here.
Yes,
and
that is correct.
But this is a first book, I imagine, and you say it's composed of 2 books.
Yes.
After your experience with this and the ongoing experience that is being channeled to you, do you foresee a channeled book? Completely channeled book?
Wow, that's a good one. I'm working on my second book. And
what is the do you have a draft title?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But it is of my time in India, and it covers more healing aspects. So even and so I channel a lot of the Indian deities.
Can you give us a few names? A lot of my followers from India and that part of the world.
Oh, yeah. So there is Krishna. I love Krishna. To me, he's Arturian. Then, oh my goodness, I'm having a brain freeze right now. This is ridiculous. So there is Shiva, and then there is. Come on, what's the?
All right, that's okay. It's okay. That's okay.
No,
that's
it's not. It's not. I'm getting old.
Okay, so there will be another book coming up.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I do hope that in the future I can have you back when you have ascended, when you become.
I have ascended. Oh my goodness! You know what? I might need a few more lifetimes.
Birgitta, it was such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much. So people can find your book, Birgitta Vesser, Becoming Authentically Me, made up of 2 books, quite interesting. And we'll see. $9.99. I found it on Amazon.com.
But remember, it's spelled differently, right? Becoming.
Yes, B-coming me. Yeah. Authentically Me. And again, her website, powersoulhealing.com, and Facebook, Universal Light Warriors. I will have you back, Birgitta. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Claudia.
Bye-bye.